Hello and welcome to this week's video share from Eretz Yisrael Kodesh, where I sit amongst the most amazing people and am immersed in some of the most satiating and beautiful Torah every day, all day. And I can only wish and bless you all that you should have such an experience in your lives one day. We know that the Torah is not just a history book, and that every single word and every single story that's brought in the Torah denotes and reveals to us some of the most deepest and crucial ideas for our lives. I would like to share with you a vort brought down by the Stipler Gaon, and he speaks about this week's parasha Vaaera, which reveals to us some of the most amazing miracles that happened to us in Mitzrayim. He speaks specifically about the miracle of this paradigm, the frogs. You see, there's a common misconception. Many people understand and know that there were a multitude of frogs that came out to plague the Egyptians, and we think they all emerged from the Nile River. But if we look at the Midrash, we see that in actual fact, not a multitude of frogs emerged from the Nile, but in actual fact, only one frog emerged from the Nile. See, if we read the actual pasuk, we see that it says, "V'yat Aaron es yadoi al meimei Mitzrayim v'talet sipardeya v'tachas es eretz Mitzrayim." Aaron stretched out his hand over the Nile River, and what actually arose from the Nile was one massive, massive frog emerging onto the dry land. The Egyptians, confronted with this massive issue, are overwhelmed by anger, and in their haste they run down to this frog and start to beat and bash it with anything that they have. But something amazing happened. Every single time they beat this frog, it started to spew out more frogs. And every smash, the land started to be covered more and more with frogs. The question is, the Egyptians should have gotten a hang of this after a while and realized every single time they were hitting the frog, more frogs were coming out. So why did they keep on hitting the frog? Were they stupid? What was going on? So the Stipler Gaon reveals to us a massive secret about the emotions and the functionality behind emotions of human beings. And he speaks very, very, very strongly about the emotion of anger, kas. And he reveals to us and says as follows: the Egyptians weren't stupid, but in actual fact, they were immersed and controlled and consumed by the emotion of anger. And what happens with the emotion of anger is that the poisonous nature of this emotion is one to completely blind an individual to the reality of what's going on. A person can be so consumed with anger that they can completely destroy and lose touch with what is going on in front of them. So too, these Egyptians, when they came into this situation and approached it in such fervor and such anger, they completely forgot what was actually going on, and that every single time they hit the frog, more frogs were coming out. My friends, we see a crucial notion from this. Firstly, every single word inside the Torah, every single story, comes along to reveal to us the most crucial messages. We have to study as much as we can to try and reveal and reap these understandings. The second is this dangerous midah, this dangerous emotion of anger that we should all try and avoid, and especially when we're put into situations where sometimes it's warranted to get angry, to try and refrain and take a step back and not get angry but forgive. With this I end and wish you all a beautiful Shabbos, and hope that you can join me for next week's video Dvar Torah and many more weeks to come with amazing insights and understandings in the beautiful Torah that we have.